We certainly do, because Minnesota Governor Tim Walz taking the center stage last night at the Democratic National Convention to accept the vice presidential nomination and make the case for the woman at the top of the ticket. Yes, Vice President Kamala Harris. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, on the convention floor starts us off this morning. And good morning to you, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, it is safe to say that just a few weeks ago, most Americans had never heard of Tim Walz, but last night he electrified this arena. The nation hearing his personal story and meeting his adoring and very proud family. Walz shared plenty of straight talk and made a heartfelt pitch for the ticket, the former high school football coach leaving it all on the field. Overnight, Coach Walz with a pep talk for the nation.
We're driving down the field. And boy, do we have the right team. Kamala Harris is tough. Kamala Harris is experienced, and Kamala Harris is ready.
The Minnesota governor introducing himself to the country.
It's the honor of my life to accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States.
His family bursting with pride.
Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you.
His 17-year-old son, Gus, who has a nonverbal learning disorder, overcome with emotion. Gus beaming, "That's my dad." Walz sharing his story growing up in a small town in Nebraska.
Growing up in a small town like that, you learn how to take care of each other. That family down the road, they may not think like you do. They may not pray like you do. They may not love like you do. But they're your neighbors, and you look out for them, and they look out for you.
The 24-year veteran and 6-term congressman, an avid hunter who's fought for gun reforms, a former social studies teacher who passed free meals for all school children.
So while other states were banning books from their schools, we were banishing hunger from ours.
But Walz also taking on the traditional running mate role of attack dog.
Leaders don't spend all day insulting people and blaming others. Leaders do the work. So I don't know about you, I'm ready to turn the page on these guys. So go ahead, say it with me. We're not going back.
The former high school football coach urging supporters to give it their all.
Look. We got 76 days. That's nothing. There'll be time to sleep when you're dead. We're going to leave it on the field. That's how we'll keep moving forward. That's how we'll turn the page on Donald Trump. And as the next president of the United States always says, when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, thank you. God bless.
Throughout the evening, Democrats relying on star power to boost the party, from Stevie Wonder to John Legend. And some of the party's biggest names, from the powerful former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, to former President Bill Clinton. The man from Hope now saying the nation needs a president of joy, and drawing a sharp contrast. Clinton casting this as a race between we the people and me, myself, and I.
The next time you hear him, don't count the lies. Count the eyes.
But perhaps the night's biggest surprise, the queen of television, Oprah Winfrey.
Who says you can't go home again?
Her first speech at a political convention, urging Americans to vote their values.
And let us choose inclusion over retribution. Let us choose common sense over nonsense. Because that's the best of America. And let us choose the sweet promise of tomorrow over the bitter return to yesterday. We won't go back. We won't be set back, pushed back, bullied back, kicked back. We're not going back. Not going back.
Oprah bringing the crowd to their feet with her signature crescendo.
Let us choose truth, let us choose honor, and let us choose joy. because that's the best of America. And together, let's all choose Kamala Harris.
Some classic Oprah Winfrey right there. Now, tonight here is Kamala Harris's night. Up here on this stage, she is about to deliver the biggest, most important speech of her life. Kamala Harris reintroducing herself to the nation and to voters in her own voice, Robin.
And Mary, what more are you learning about how she is preparing for this moment?
Well, Robin, this morning I'm told she is still huddling with her advisors, still making tweaks to her big remarks. She is, of course, going to share her personal story as the daughter of immigrants, arguing that she understands the middle-class experience. She'll talk about her work as a prosecutor as she now prosecutes the case against Trump, and she will most certainly share her vision of hope and optimism for the future. Robin.
All right, Mary, thanks to you.
Okay, Robin, let's bring in Rachel Scott, who's tracking the Trump campaign. Trump out on the trail yesterday, Rachel. His team keeps telling him to talk about policy, but he just can't help himself.
Yeah, the former president, George, is making it clear he is not going to stay away from those personal attacks. And it's also clear he's been watching what has been playing out here at the Democratic National Convention. He went on to attack someone who's not even on the Democratic ticket, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, calling him a highly overrated Jewish governor, claiming that the speech that he gave was poorly delivered. Now, Shapiro, of course, was on the short list to be Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate. He did deliver a blistering speech going after the Republican ticket, accusing them of trying to take away the freedoms of Americans. But that reaction from Donald Trump, part of a larger pattern. The former president has attacked Jewish people who are supporting Vice President Kamala Harris in comments that have been labeled as anti-Semitic. Now, the former president has been out on the campaign trail doing the splits across these battleground states, really trying to counter the Democratic National Convention. He did deliver his first outdoor rally speech since that attempted assassination on his life. There were added security provisions, bulletproof glass surrounding him. Snipers were in position. But yes, George, despite what his advisors are telling him, despite what Republican allies are telling him to stay focused on the policy, he said he's not going to stay away from those personal insults, George.
Okay, Rachel, thanks. Let's bring in our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl. John, you talked to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Looks like he's getting out.
Yeah, with his campaign sputtering, his standing in the polls falling, sources close to Kennedy tell ABC News that he is poised to do something that once seemed unthinkable: drop out and endorse Donald Trump. Sources tell ABC News that Robert Kennedy Jr., a lifelong Democrat turned independent candidate for president, plans to pull the plug on his campaign and endorse Donald Trump. His running mate teasing a major announcement Friday. When I spoke with Kennedy, he told me he would not, quote, confirm or deny his plans, but he did harshly criticize Kamala Harris's emergence as the Democratic nominee, saying, quote, it's not democracy. Trump has been courting Kennedy, earlier this summer calling him a member of the Kennedy team, recording video that was later posted on social media.
I would love you to do so, and I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you, and we're going to win.
On that call, Trump seemed to embrace debunked misinformation Kennedy has been pushing about childhood vaccines. Sources say Kennedy's endorsement would come with a price, a position in a Trump administration. His running mate told ABC News, quote, it would require a significant commitment by Trump to give Bobby true authority to execute. Donald Trump Jr. suggested Kennedy could be given control of a federal agency.
I love the idea. I love the idea of, giving him, some sort of role in some sort of, major, three-letter entity or whatever it may be, and let him blow it up.
Kennedy's independent campaign was once polling about 15%, but he has fallen following a strange series of missteps, including the revelation that Kennedy had claimed years ago that a worm had eaten part of his brain. And he recently confessed to a bizarre incident 10 years ago where he dumped a dead bear cub in Central Park.
I wasn't drinking, of course, but people were drinking with me who thought this was a good idea. And we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something.
Much of the Kennedy family has rejected his campaign, publicly throwing their support to President Biden and now to Vice President Harris. Sources say the conversations between Kennedy and the Trump team are ongoing. Plans could change. You can bet he's facing renewed pressure from family and friends. As for the Democratic response to all this, a senior official for the DNC, Mary Beth Cahill, also a former advisor to Kennedy's uncle Ted Kennedy, Senator Ted Kennedy, said this: "Desperate men do desperate things. RFK Jr. was recruited by MAGA, funded by MAGA, and parroted MAGA talking points. No one should be shocked if he formalizes his relationship in an attempt at continued relevance." George?
Okay, John, thanks. Let's bring in our Washington Bureau Chief Political Director, Rick Klein. Rick, RFK Jr.'s poll numbers had been dropping. Hard to gauge what impact his getting out, maybe even endorsing Donald Trump, will have.
Yeah, George, I mean, the battleground states look a lot different than they did a few short weeks ago when Donald Trump was leading everywhere. Right now, Kamala Harris is actually up in 6 of the 7 big battleground states, including the Midwestern states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Tim Walz, of course, from Wisconsin, and we are right now in the state of Illinois. But to your point about the national polling, when Robert F. Kennedy was added into the mix in our latest poll, he was polling at just 5%. As John Carl said, he was well into the double digits earlier in the summer. Harris with a 3-point lead with the 3 of them in the race. But when you take him out of the mix, it is not at all clear where his voters necessarily go. When you took that away as an option in our latest poll, you see the largest share of voters actually then went to Kamala Harris. But the biggest number on this screen is 34% that say they would support someone else if Kennedy is out of the mix. Some of them are holding out for Kennedy. So if Kennedy is now telling his supporters to vote for Donald Trump, you might see the lion's share of them go to Donald Trump. Kennedy has had better popularity and favorability numbers among Republicans than among Democrats, and a lot of his views more closely align with Donald Trump. The bottom line, George, is we may see a tight race get even tighter as a result of this.
Okay, Rick, thanks very much. Of course, ABC News is covering the Democratic National Convention in Chicago tonight in prime time. Streaming on ABC News Live at 7 Eastern, then here on the network at 9.